everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here, and I'm coming at you again with another tag video. Let me be a little bit more specific. Another self-made tag video. In celebration of the brand new movie that came out in June, Entourage, of course, based on the hit HBO television show that lasted a very healthy 8 seasons. It was one of my all-time favorite shows at the time, and it was so awesome and so funny that I said to myself, why doesn't Entourage become a tag? Because it can. And it will. The thing I've heard about from critics in regards to this film is you don't necessarily have to be a fan of the show to appreciate the film, because they say the film is just so hilarious and entertaining. I liked the show because it was the story of Hollywood with a New York attitude. Vinny Chase, played by Adrian Grenier, and his entourage of Johnny Drama, Turtle, and E, of course meeting up with their agent, Ari Gold, who is played beautifully by Jeremy Piven in the show. Basically, it's all about Vince developing into a Hollywood star and how his friends help him, at the same time, enjoy some of the finer things in life in the process. If you never saw the show, do watch it, because I truly think that you will be grossly entertained by it. So I present to you all the Entourage tag, and as I go through these 8 questions that I created, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of these characters, who they are, what they were part of in regards to the show, so you'll have a better idea of what you're getting into if you plan on watching the TV show, and of course if you plan on going to see the movie. So let's begin. The first question is Vince. Vince was played by Adrian Grenier. He was the Hollywood movie star in this show and movie. So pick a film that includes your favorite current Hollywood heartthrob. So I went with Olivia Wilde. Not only is she a gorgeous woman, she's also a fine actress, and one of the most underrated movies that I have ever seen she happened to be in, and that was the grossly snubbed at the Oscars film Ron Howard's Rush, starring Daniel Bruhl and Chris Hemsworth as the famed Formula One drivers Niki Lauda and James Hunt and their classic rivalry. Olivia Wilde played James Hunt's wife in the film, and I appreciated her performance even though it was a minor role. And if you look closely, all you Game of Thrones fans, you might notice Marjorie Tyrell, aka Natalie Dormer. The next question, E. E was Eric Murphy, played by Kevin Connolly, and he was Vince's self-made manager. And he basically was Vince's best friend on the show, and he was the real heart of the Entourage crew. So the question is, name a film with an all-around good guy or good girl lead. So I went with The Apartment, mainly because of the fact that one of the greatest actors of all time, who could totally take Daniel Day-Lewis, and that is Jack Lemmon. He played the character C.C. Baxter, an all-around nice guy who practically bent over backwards to just try and get a little far and appreciate it in life. Granted, of course, everybody else doesn't really look at him that way, but as this movie goes on, you truly see that he is a good-natured guy based around all the things that he does in fact do in this film and who he cohorts with in the film. But he and Shirley MacLaine put together a masterpiece of a film, and to me, C.C. Baxter is truly, at the end of The Apartment, an all-around good guy. The next question is Johnny Drama, and of course he was played by Matt Dillon's younger brother Kevin. He also happened to be an actor before Vince came along, and because of the fact that Vince is now the heartthrob and Johnny can't get the work, he's basically mooching off of Vince in order to just make sure that he stays afloat for just a little while longer while he's constantly going to auditions. So the question is, name a film with non-stop drama. And that means not necessarily drama like a Forrest Gump or a Ben-Hur or a Schindler's List kind of drama, but we're talking like stupid drama. So I went with the John Hughes classic 16 Candles. Samantha Baker, played by Molly Ringwald, she is basically moping because nobody remembered her birthday. So what? Nobody remembered your birthday? It's not the end of the world! Now, I'm not going to give away what happens at the end of 16 Candles, but if you want to see a really fun movie with some really over-the-top stupid teen drama, then you definitely have to see 16 Candles. The fourth question is Turtle. he was played by Jerry Ferrara. He was the tough-talking guy, even though he actually was the only member of the cast that was not originally from New York. He was actually from New Jersey. But he played the all-around tough guy who wanted to just get Vince out there and, of course, get a little bit for himself in the process. And the question is, name a film where the character goes through a ton of change. Turtle went through the most change in the show. He actually went through it physically and mentally. He started out pretty overweight, but if you take a look at him in the movie, he is extremely thin. But also, he was the one character in the whole show that really discovered himself and tried to better himself. You just gotta watch the show to see exactly how his whole story unfolds, especially as someone who's really a supporting member of the cast who ends up being a true important member of the cast. The movie that I'm going to go with, or at least the character, is going to be Daniel Plainview, played by Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood, when at the very beginning of the movie, something tragic happens in his life. A guy who was most likely all around good-natured turns into this true monster mogul of oil and will just stop at nothing to just keep getting more and more and more. And from the beginning to the end of the movie, you see this character go from reasonable businessman to truly insane miser and just solitude hermit. Number 5 is Mrs. Ari. That, of course, is Ari Gold's wife. She was played by Perry Reeves, and even though Ari is one of the major hotheads and really tries to be the biggest control freak that he can, there's always a strong woman behind a very strong man, and her character was definitely one of the best on the show. Very underrated. So, the question is, name a film where the supportive female role has a strong pair of balls under her skirt. And I am gonna go with Anita Morales, who was played by Jessica Chastain in the movie A Most Violent Year. If you haven't seen A Most Violent Year, what are you doing? You want to see a truly strong husband and wife team? You take a look at the Moraleses, who were played beautifully by Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain, but some of the things that Jessica Chastain's character does when her husband's back is turned, oh man, that woman's got some balls under her skirt, I'm telling you. What a bold, in-your-face, independent, hard-working woman. You gotta see A Most Violent Year to believe what I'm saying here. Question number 6 is Lloyd. Lloyd was Ari's assistant. He was a gay guy who was absolutely hilarious. If you loved any character on that show, you loved Lloyd. And of course, one of the staples of the show, which is Ari Gold yelling Lloyd at the top of his lungs, is all because of Rex Lee and his wonderful supporting character. So the question is, a movie that features a lovable gay guy. I'm going with Agador, played by Hank Azaria in The Birdcage. Now, Nathan Lane and Robin Williams are beautiful together in The Birdcage, but oh my god, Hank Azaria gives me some of the best laugh-out-loud moments of the whole movie, and that voice. We all know that Hank Azaria is the king of voices thanks to all those roles that he has on The Simpsons, but as Agador in The Birdcage, one of the most overlooked performances of his career, and because of that performance, Agador truly is such a lovable gay guy. The men love him, the women love him, everybody loves Agador. Question number 7 is Ari. Of course, Ari Gold is the king of this show. This guy is the strong Hollywood agent who represents Vince, and Ari is the reason why Entourage was as good as it was. He won an Emmy for his performance, and there's no surprise, but all you have to do is watch a video that has some of Ari Gold's best moments. If you've never seen the show, this will hook you. You just see what he says, and the lines that were written for him that came out of Ari Gold's mouth in the show. Jeremy Piven was incredible. But one of the few things I know that he was notorious for was his big, dirty mouth. And the question is, name your favorite film with a ton of swearing. I gotta go with Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas. There's nothing more that I can say about it because we all know how much cursing is in that movie. So, if you could name a movie that has so much more enjoyable scenes with cursing in it, I'd really like to know what it is. And the last question is Entourage. The show and the movie, of course. Name your favorite film based on a television show. And I am going to go with a movie that very few people truly enjoy, and that's Jetsons the movie. Why? Because I love the Jetsons. They're my favorite cartoon of all time. I wrote a paper on George Jetson in my freshman year of college because the topic was name a wonderful and relatable father figure, and George Jetson is a great father figure. The movie is not liked by many, but I love the movie. I love the music, I love the early CGI, and I just love it because it's the Jetsons. I know that there are some other TV-based films out there, but this one was my all-time favorite. But who knows? Maybe Entourage will beat it. So that's the Entourage tag. I'm looking forward to seeing you all do this tag. I'm hoping that it will circulate around YouTube, along with my other 2 new tags, May the 4th Be With You tag, which is already starting to circle, and the Funko Pop tag, which I'm sure is going to make its way through YouTube. But now it's time to tag some people as I take a look at my trusty notebook. Tim from TheLateReviews, Andy Tolsky, Few Mixed Reviews, Lynsey Macdonald, Rihanna Toria, Ellie Marie Productions, Book Geek Movie Freak, Vampira Tracy, I got it right this time, and one of my newest subscribers who loves creating and doing tags, Sarah Ella, who you definitely gotta check out, and there will be links for all of these people's channels provided in the box below. Again, you don't need to have been an Entourage watcher to do this tag, because based on what you've seen, I'm hoping that you got the idea and that it's simple enough. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. It was a pleasure bringing this brand new tag to YouTube, and I'll see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.